It is Tuesday, August 25th, 2026. This is another edition of Baseball Today presented to you by T-Mobile. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan, along for the ride as well. How's Sacktown?
Oh, beautiful. Nice hotel out here. The Twins got back on track against the A's. Yeah, I don't know. Having a good time. Excited to talk ball with you.
How's the atmosphere up there these days?
It was a Monday night, but, still, it didn't feel bad out there. The crowd got loud when they needed to get loud. It's not a lot of people, but I think it's they do a good job.
Okay. I think they're outdrawing the A's in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, the site of the Little League World Series. That's where we start off our show with a tip of the cap. I got to tell you, Kinley Rasmus is crushing it. She represents Phoenix, Alabama. Last name sounds familiar. It should. That's because her dad, Corey, pitched in the big leagues. Her uncle, Colby, was an outfielder, and she can spin it. Did you see what Pitching Ninja put out last night? Look at this. Woo!
Yeah.
That's big league stuff right there, dude.
12-year-olds don't like that. They don't like the curveball.
I don't think 22-year-olds like that in some cases.
Yes, that's true.
That's pretty good. She came out of the pen through 4 2/3, kept their dream alive in an elimination game. She can also swing it. She's got a picture-perfect swing. She plays shortstop. I love it. She's the 9th girl to pitch in Little League World Series history. Keep doing your thing, kiddo. We're all watching, and we're all loving it. So that is just flat out awesome. All right, we're going to kick off the meat of our show with our segment, Made It Look Easy. It's presented to you by Booking.com. Booking.yeah, an official travel partner for MLB. And we're talking about a guy who made it look easy on Monday night. It has not been an easy time for last year's AL MVP runner-up Cal Raleigh. In fact, his season has pretty much stunk. Those have been his words, not necessarily ours. But on Monday night, he made it look easy over and over and over again.
Fly ball. Right field, Harper can't make the catch. It's a 3-homer game, Cal Raleigh.
Yeah, we know we're a good team, and we know we got a lot of good opponents coming up, and it's just about belief and hope, and I think bringing that every day, no matter what happens, that's a strong, powerful thing to have in the clubhouse, and right now I think that's what the guys are doing.
It's just the second 3-homer game in the history of that stadium, which has been around now 27 years. Victor Martinez of the then Cleveland Indians, the only other one to do it. So he's the first Mariner to get it done. I suppose the big question is, what are the odds that this jumpstarts Raleigh's season and maybe gets the team that has been on the wrong side of our ire for the last few weeks pointed in the right direction?
If you're asking for a percentage, it's tough. Cal Raleigh has had the season he's had. We all understand the troubles he's had. I think the one thing you could take away from this game is that he got to a fastball top of the zone, which he's really been struggling. It's been his worst pitch this year, and he demolished those last year. So does one game make me think he's back on the heater and can do it? Probably not. Am I rooting for Cal? Am I rooting for him to get going and this Rangers team to get hot, or this Mariners team to get hot? Yes, I am. I don't know. They win a series against the Cubs. They take one against the Phillies, who had been obviously very, very hot. Maybe this is something they go to. He did have some great quotes during his post-game interview saying, this is what separates the boys from the men. This is go time. You got to forget about the rest of the season. We're right in a playoff position or a spot to make a run here. So, there are times where this happens, Chris. I would love for the Seattle Mariners and for Cal Raleigh to get hot and make this thing interesting.
So Cal Raleigh, with that 3-homer game, raised his OPS on the season to 618. Ready for this? It's the first time he woke up with an OPS over 600 since May 6th. May 6th. That seems impossible, because last year wasn't like a one-year wonder. He was not the Tommy Two-Tone one-hit wonder for those of you that are over the age of 45. Go look him up if you have no idea who he was. Had one single hit. That was not the deal. He kept hitting 30 home run seasons, and then boom, he gives us a 60 home run season. So was it a major jump? Yes. But this guy has been a damn good baseball player and earned that 9-figure contract that he got. Trevor, I really cannot remember a guy falling off this significantly from one great season to what we're seeing now, a negative WAR player.
I mean, I can't really either. And I was trying to butter knife the stats. I was like, you know what? I feel like he's been going a little bit more this a month. So I went back and did the 20 games he's played this month. It's still 177. Now the on base percentage is 329. So, okay, you can take that. And the slugging percentage is 468. So he's still 797 OPS. Most of that is coming from the long ball. He's got 6 homers. That's his only extra base hits this month. There's no doubles. There's no triples. I'm not ready to give him he's back yet, but I want him to be back. How about that?
I do too. And look, every time we talk about the Mariners, we mention the same thing. We both picked them to win the World Series, and so we look like idiots. At the same time, because the AL West stinks and the rest of the AL stinks outside of the Rays, the Yankees, and Boston. And if you want to throw the White Sox in there, although they're starting to reel back a little bit, they're right there. They're only 3 games out in both the wild card and in the American League West. So with 4.5 weeks to go, they still have got time to figure this thing out. And once they get to the playoffs with the kind of pitching they might be able to put together for the postseason, then we'll see. If you're looking for somebody, by the way, that had a serious drop-off, I suppose you could go with Cody Bellinger, but you can't go from his MVP season where he was basically a 9-WAR player because that was the year before the COVID-shortened season in 2020. So that doesn't count. But the year after 2020, when he came back from the shoulder injury that he suffered in the NLCS celebrating a home run, he was a negative 1.6 WAR player. Ouch.
I mean, there's been some instances. I did find one stat that you can look at, and if you're a Mariners fan, be like, hell yeah, Cal. 13 walks, 19 strikeouts this month.
Good.
That's a much better ratio than he was on pace for.
All right. So let us know. What are you thinking here? Mariners fans, want to hear from you where your headspace is. Those of you who are just huge baseball fans, do we think that this is the turning point? There was a video on social media about PCA coming up to the plate and slapping Big Dumper on the ass.
Yeah,
did you see that? And ever since then, he's been hitting it good. So maybe they should send a playoff share if they reach it to PCA. Not that he really needs it.
You know, things happen at a molecular level, and maybe that's, it did something,
You think an ass slap can do that?
I think it can. Yeah. Haven't you ever heard it? Kick in the ass, pat on the butt?
Yeah. Well, Big Dumper and I are very similar body types. Now, I'm, 25 years older than he is. But
yeah, I can see that. I can see a very bearish.
I'm like it was so funny. Sam at our office is looking for an outfit for me to wear during floorball, and we'll let you know why in a little bit.
Okay.
She's like, what size jacket do you wear? Like suit jacket. She's like, are you a 40 or a 42? I was like, oh, Sam, you're so adorable. I'm like, come on. Look at this. Look at this big burly man. Does this smell of 40 or 42?
What are you, 48?
I'm like probably a 48 regular.
All right. I think I'm
very broad.
42 regular.
Yeah, but look at you. Yeah. You're super slim these days. Me, I've got weight. If I drop 20 pounds, I think I could get to probably a 44. That's just not happening anymore.
I might have to have a 44 these days. All that sourdough I've been eating. Jeez.
Yeah. That'll definitely do it. Hey, quick shout out to our partners at Booking.com, making it easy for baseball fans to get where they want to be. Booking.com, Booking.yeah. Official travel partner of Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. All right. Big day in San Diego, even though they lost in extra innings to the Pittsburgh Pirates. And boy, both those teams, if you're trying to we're going to have bunting practice. I stayed up late to watch that, and particularly the Padres, who popped in consecutive innings, bunts into the air in a tie game with nobody out, runner at second base. That sort of stuff drives me nuts. I'll listen to people who say, well, let's not bunt. But when we got a tie game and a runner at second in the bottom of the 10th or bottom of the 11th, it's okay to bunt. Let's just do it properly. That's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about the new ownership group. So Jose E. Feliciano and his wife, Kwanzaa Jones, they took over the Padres officially. They spearheaded a group that paid almost $4 billion for the Padres. That's what they've been valued at, $3.9 billion, richest ever in terms of a transaction. During their introductory news conference, they certainly hit all the right notes.
I'm a lifelong baseball fan. I won't tell you which team I used to root for, but right now I root for the Padres, and we need to win the World Series. It's that simple. That's what we're going to do.
We need each other. And that's what Jose and I together have built a life on understanding that it is together. And when we are all in, and you all heard the song as we walked in, we are all in. It's not lip service. We're going to win. We're going to win. We're going to win and win it all. We hope it's sooner rather than later.
I mean, it was unlike any sort of ownership introductory news conference we'd ever seen.
That's going to be a meme on the internet. No doubt. If it isn't already, we're going to win. We're going to win it all. It's going to be a meme. Hopefully a good one for the Padres. I also liked how she went with like the old school Padres colors. At least I think I'm kind of colorblind. Was that like an orange hat, like a navy kind of top?
Let's see, Dan.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to bring back those colors, Chris. Yeah, it was an incredible press conference. I think if you're a Padres fan or any fan in general, I mean, okay, it's the introductory press conference. Everyone's going to be excited. I guess you have to wait and see what the moves are. But I don't think you go and you pay, like you said, close to $4 billion and then just kind of turn the team around. I think it looks like they're ready to make some moves and they want to be involved. And I think that's the most important thing. What I've seen a change with the Twins is Tom Pohlad coming in and being more involved, being around the players, wanting to do the job. And we need more of that throughout the sport. I like when the owners are there and present and, we'll see what they do as far as addressing the media from time to time. But the Padres went from an owner that they loved in Seidler to now another passionate ownership group that looks like they want to put a good product on the field and they understand the importance of this team to San Diego. So I'm stoked for everyone.
Listen, it's great to win the press conference. There's no question about it. It makes you feel good, particularly when you've got kind of ownership with that kind of energy. I mean, she was off the charts bouncing in, and they mentioned that they had a walk-in song. They had a walk-in song, and it was cool. It was different. It's much better than the stuffy, we know nothing about ownership at all. Like we don't even hear from them all year. Now, there is a true balance, right? Dallas Cowboy fans, for the most part, loathe Jerry Jones, even though he's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame and had a great start to his reign, winning 3 Super Bowls in the early 90s. But since then, it's been crazy. Now, I don't think that these two are going to try and play the role of general manager. They're going to let A.J. Preller, it sounds like, do his thing. It sounds like he's going to stick around, certainly through the length of his contract, and then they'll reevaluate. He did, meaning Feliciano said something interesting. He said the new ownership group will, quote, live within our means, and that could mean different things in different years. That kind of stuck with me. So he didn't say, hey, listen, we're going to step on the accelerator and we're going to be like the Dodgers and we're going to be like the Mets and we're just going to go. That's not what we're going to do. We're still in San Diego. They own a soccer team. They own Chelsea. So soccer fans can tell us a little bit more about their background over there, but maybe this sport has a different ownership avenue that they'll take. We'll see. Don't know.
I'm excited to see what happens in the off season. It's essentially the first time they'll get to kind of either flex their muscle or make a call, essentially.
Yeah. So Padre fans, I'm sure you're through the moon with this. I mean, Peter Seidler, he tried so hard to bring a championship to that city. He tried so hard, right? I mean, he opened his wallet. He made that place the place to be. It didn't matter whether it was a Monday, a Wednesday, or a Saturday night in San Diego. You can't tell the difference, and that's the biggest props I can give to that city, that community, that fan base, and that organization, is that you've built up a product that is worth seeing and supporting, and the fan base loves it. So see how it goes. I'm excited for them. And they admitted, you heard it out of their mouth, we have to win.
Who do you think the team Jose was rooting for was? Is he a LA guy? Is it a Dodger?
He is, I believe, from Los Angeles.
Oh, baby. Okay.
And he started his investment firm, I thought it was in Santa Monica, if I read properly. The two of them met when they were students at Princeton. So that's where their relationship dates back to.
All right.
And she's obviously an entertainer and a singer. She's got it. I mean, I want to meet her at the owners' meetings or something. Like, she'll be a great, great interview. She's awesome for the sport. I can tell you that already. Be fun. All right, this back-to-school season, spend less on your kids with Amazon. And we're going to shout out Amazon as a sponsor of today's show. We get it. You want to give your kids a great start to the year. But back-to-school has a way of absolutely destroying your budget. The supply lists keep growing. The clothes, they stop fitting because the kids keep growing. And somehow there's always one more thing. Well, Amazon helps you handle all of it without losing your mind or your wallet. My kids, one's done with school. The other one is in college. I don't have to take him back to school shopping. But you know what he does need? All sorts of equipment. And he needs it sent where? Right to the old fraternity house. And so Amazon will hook him up. I see all these charges. I got no problem with it because it means that Brady Rose doesn't have to drive from this place to that place to this store to over here. He just does it from his phone and voila, it all shows up. That's Amazon for back to school or college or whatever you need. It's all in one place. We're talking backpacks, lunch boxes, notebooks, headphones, clothes, great prices, huge selection, and it all shows up where? At your door before you know it. So remember, with Amazon's low back-to-school prices, just spend less on your kids because every dollar you don't spend on them is a dollar you have not spent on them. Texas Rangers. They started Monday tied for the third wild card spot in the American League. But guess what, Plouffe? They are reaching for higher and higher goals, as we saw on the South Side.
And he swings in, drives out, deep out to right. Nimmo back to the wall, reaches up, and he got it! What a play by Brandon Nimmo! He saves 2 runs, and he ends the inning.
Well, that's going to help a guy who metrically has stunk in the outfield. He is negative in terms of outs above average and defensive runs saved. How about this effort, Trev?
I mean, he went up and got that. I love it. I always say this. I love fences that guys can scale and get up and rob homers. I don't like the big walls that you hit it off of. So this is perfect. I've seen a lot of guys do that on the south side, but that was a fantastic catch for Nimmo. But I am also, Chris, I've decided.
What?
I've decided this. I'm almost completely out on defensive metrics. There's just too many loopholes. There's just too much small sample size. This. I can't do it. Like catch probability affecting this. If you catch more balls as a center fielder, your OAA goes up. I think I'm out.
I think it's fair because it's one of those things that just seems to be out in the baseball universe and very few people can define. Like I am to a fault sometimes a practical person. Like you never saw the movie Uncle Buck, did you, with the late John Candy? Did you ever see that movie?
I remember the movie.
There's a great scene in it. And this is, I know I'm speaking like an old head here, but if you're a young person, go throw it on because it makes it through today. I watched it with my kids many years ago and they were like, oh yeah, hilarious. John Candy is there in the principal's office with his niece who's been called into the office because she's been told she's a daydreamer. Like, she sits there and doesn't take school seriously. And he's like, I don't want to have a kid that's not a daydreamer. I want a kid that dreams big and thinks, and by the way, here's a quarter. Go hire a rat to gnaw that mole off your face, he says. Right. It's one of the great scenes of all time. Anyway, my point is that sometimes they ask us to dream when it comes to all this defensive metrics, which sounds cool and fun, but I have no idea what any of it means. Like, I love it when they say, hey, he ran 87 feet in 3.2 seconds. Cool. That sounds cool, but I can't. There's no proof for me.
Yeah, again, there's just, I think, too many loopholes and too many arguments. It just, nobody ever really has a good explanation of why it is what it is. So I don't know what the solution is. I'm just kind of complaining, which I don't usually like to do, but I am just going to sit here and complain. So I can't with it anymore.
You can let us know about your feeling on defensive metrics. Is there a site out there?
Chris, do you know how much influence that has on people's career?
Well, I mean, look what it has to do with the National League MVP race this year.
Yeah.
I mean, we all feel like PCA is the stud of all studs defensively in center field, but people are saying, look at the metrics with him and why that means more than Shohei pitching. I'm not making an argument one way or another. We've done that on this show enough, but I'm saying that people are really utilizing that when we're talking about the MVP race. And I don't know if it fully should be, but maybe I'm wrong.
I want a way to measure defense. I don't know if there is a perfect way to measure defense. I do. I mean, you could look at PCA and say, wow, okay, I know he's a great defender and he does change the game. So I do want some way to quantify it. I just feel like we're not there yet.
Well, okay, maybe there are people out there that disagree with us, and that's perfectly fine. Put it in the comments. Is there a site? Is there some explanation that has made it easier for you to absorb all the data that gets thrown at us defensively? I think it's a good thing. Now, I'm merely using the Rangers today as a jumping off point to a bigger discussion in the American League West, because Texas now has a half-game lead over Houston, which was idle on Monday night, now starts a road trip in New York. I think they play both the Yankees and then the Mets later this week. Now, here's the interesting thing. There were conflicting reports about Astros manager Joe Espada following Dana Brown given the boot. Of course, he was the GM until yesterday. Chandler Rome of The Athletic said Espada's status is unchanged, and that was just hours after Bobby Nightingale of USA Today came out and reported that Espada would, quote, not receive a new contract when his current deal expires at the end of the season. The team then gave him a choice to either leave now or stay on for the remainder of the season. Espada chose the latter. Now, once again, these are conflicting reports, but let's play the what-if game. What if Bob Nightingale is right? If that is indeed true, how weird a story is it?
I applaud Espada. If that came out and he knows he's not going to be the manager next year, I guess I don't have to applaud him. He should want to finish the year out. It is a very strange situation. You could probably see it coming if you're Espada. GM gets fired. Looks like they want to clean house. It hasn't exactly gone the Astros' way since he's been manager. Made the playoffs first year, missed him last year. Interesting year this year in the AL. So, I don't know. I want to give him props for like kind of doing the right thing, finishing the year out, and probably trying to put it to the back burner as best he can. But obviously, he's going to be thinking about that almost every single night. Like, what am I going to do next year? You try to tell yourself, I'll push it off to the offseason, worry about it then. I got to give everything I got to my guys and my coaching staff. So I'm sure they're asking him questions as well, because if a manager goes, that means a lot of the coaches are going to go as well. So it's very interesting out here. And, we're talking about Kwanzaa and Jose taking over the Padres and what kind of owners they're going to be. You're talking about Jerry Jones. Jim Crane's is the Jerry Jones of our sport, essentially. And he's got his hands in the baseball ops department. So it's a strange situation, to say the least, Chris.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame Espada for wanting to hang out. I'm not going to fully equate this apples to apples, but when my contract was not going to be picked up by MLB Network, I found out in the middle of November, and they said, hey, you can be done today or you can finish out the year. Now, it's different. I didn't have to lead a team. I was like, fuck that. This is my show. We started it together. I'm not leaving. So I want to keep doing this. I understand it from his standpoint. I think the strange thing is having a manager in place that is a lame duck. Like, how is that supposed to rally guys over the last 4.5 weeks of a season?
I'm trying to think of what you say to the guys. Maybe they rally around you and say, fuck, let's do this for the skip. How can this guy get fired if we make it to the playoffs and we go on a run here?
But it's like our bosses don't believe in the guy who's standing in front of us right now.
Yeah, but they don't. You don't think about that. No, if he's got the respect of the clubhouse, you don't care about the front office. You rarely ever think about the front office when you're in a clubhouse. It's the guys within the walls, essentially. And you want to win for each other. And that's not like you have to dislike the front office or dislike the ownership. Yeah, of course you can. You could hate your manager too. But in my experience, and again, I had a great relationship with Terry Ryan and the front offices that were in Minnesota and kind of around when I bounced around. But really, you're playing for each other in the clubhouse, and that includes your manager for the most part.
Gardy wasn't. Wait, who was your first manager? Was it
Gardy?
Molitor?
Yeah, I had Gardy, and then I had Molitor.
Molly?
Yeah.
So wait, Gardenhire didn't get fired during a year, did he?
No, end of the year, 2014.
Okay.
And that was a tough one, yeah.
Yeah, if this is the way it goes down, I can't remember a manager, like a couple days to go in the season, team's out of it, I get it. Well, hell, even, what was it, 3 or 4 years ago, Gabe Kapler didn't get to finish the season. Remember that? He got shit canned with a week to go. They were like, beat it. We want you here. And they weren't going anywhere.
It's just interesting. Like, I mean, I don't think they wanted this to come out. It's not like Jim Crane's come out and said anything, right? Like, this is just Bob Nightingale reporting.
Right. And we haven't heard, once again, the team had the day off on Monday. Joe Espada is expected to be back in the dugout tonight. He missed Sunday's game. He had a family issue that he had to tend to. And obviously we hope that everything turned out okay there. That's first and foremost. You've heard nothing but nice things about this man. I can tell you that. I don't believe I've ever met him or shaken hands with him. Heard good things. I think their organization has kind of gone a little sideways right now. It's definitely been a little weird, is what I would say. So we'll see. Astros fans out there, let us know how you feel about this, if indeed the reports are true. Once again, they're reports. That's why we credit sources or reports on all this stuff and who came out with them. And Chandler Rome saying that's not accurate. But it is interesting if it is accurate. I can tell you that. Who do you make the favorite right now? You've got Texas with a half-game lead, and then the Mariners are 3 back. I'll ask you this about 6 more times before the season ends.
Between those two teams?
No, between those 3. Seattle's still in it.
Okay. Texas, Houston, Seattle. Who do I have as the favorite to win?
Give me a top-of-the-head answer. You don't have to say this.
Seattle.
Seattle still?
Go.
Seattle still.
Fire it up. Go Cal Raleigh. Start hitting those heaters, baby.
Okay.
You know what? The same thing happened in 2021 with the Braves. They were out of it, and then they went on a run. Seattle, 4 weeks left.
Didn't we just put out a list of 1 through 7 of all the teams that were up for the final wild card berth, and we put them either both 6th? I put them 6th, and you put them 7th.
That's because we were just mad at them, Chris. You didn't really believe that. Then they won a series against the Cubs, and now they're
mad at you.
Took the first game against the Phillies. It could change like that in this race. You know that. This is like COVID where nobody knows a thing.
I'm mad at you, Mariners, but I still believe in you. I'll pick them too to win the American League West. Let's go for it.
Me and you right now, pretend Seattle's collective butt is right in front of us. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
You spanking that?
I spanked it.
Wow. Trevor Plouffe spanking ass on the show. Never know what you're going to see here on Baseball Today. This episode sponsored by SeatGeek. Covering baseball every day means it is go time. Playoffs, a little bit more than a month away. NFL, we're almost here. NBA, it'll start not too far after that. So if you want to actually be there for any of it, you need our friends over at SeatGeek. With over 35 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There's over 70,000 events across sports and concerts and festivals. MLB's official ticket marketplace. Every baseball ticket is fully guaranteed and instantly fulfilled. Also, they're always looking out for your wallet. Green dot, good deal. Take it. Red dot, move it along. Keep looking. In fact, I use SeatGeek to purchase my Guardians Halos tickets. I will be in Anaheim tonight. Make sure you say hi and use the code that I used. Baseball 2026. You're going to get 10% off your next set of MLB tickets at SeatGeek. That is 10% off any MLB tickets with the promo code Baseball 2026. All you got to do is click the link in the description to download the app, have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it whenever you want. Thank you to SeatGeek. I'll see you in Anaheim. Thanks to you. All right. Let's head out to the desert where the Cubs took care of the Arizona Diamondbacks, but the heat wasn't the only thing that was a little warm. Everybody was hot under the collar. Diamondbacks and Cubs coaches going back and forth. That's Jeff Bannister staring down Quentin Berry, who's the Cubs' third base coach. Apparently, he and the Arizona dugout, they took to Barry perhaps stealing signals and then relaying them. Originally, the TV crew thought, well, why are they yelling at the umpire? Then they got a shot of the Cubs dugout, and they're like, well, wait a second. They're yelling back at Jeff Bannister and crew. There's a little bit of the Dikembe Mutombo finger waggle. Here's Merrill Kelly, the starting pitcher, explaining what exactly happened.
Stealing signs is as old as baseball. I think it's a little bullshit when it comes from a coach. I think, if it's a guy on second base and they see the grip in your glove, or if the hitters can see something that you're doing with your glove, I think that's fair game. I think guys have been doing that since the beginning of baseball. I think it's a little bush league when it comes from outside that. I think inside the lines is one thing. I think the guys that are standing outside the lines, I think it's a little bush league.
Is he right?
Well, I have come out and said that I think that it has to be a uniformed personnel to really, and that was my take on the guys in the back with their computers entering, video into a software program. I don't like that. It's happening, people, just so you know, it's everywhere. That's what teams are doing. I don't personally like that because I do think, like Merrill Kelly said, keep it within the lines. I included coaches in that because I feel like, they're part of the team. They're there. They're doing it. So I don't mind his take. I bet a lot of guys feel that way. Like, hey, let the players play the game. Coaches, you just coach and do your thing. But I'll stick with my original assessment. I think uniform personnel should be the only guys picking signs. I don't like using technology for it. If you want to look at video and you're a player or a coach that's got a uniform on, go ahead and figure it out there. But what I don't like is coaches chirping at each other. I just can never get behind it. I can't. It's like, dude, just relax. Like, you're not going to fight. And if you want to have a conversation, have a conversation. I will say this too. Jeff Bannister, we don't want to mess with the guy.
I was about to say, if we're having a draft of coaches, I'm not talking managers, I'm just talking strictly coaches that you don't want to fuck with. He is a lottery pick, even at his age.
It's Walt White's number one. He's Walt. Yeah, you don't want to mess with him.
Walt's in his own category, okay? Black belt to the nth degree, you win. But Jeff, I'm telling you, man, stay away from Jeff Bannister. And I had a lovely conversation with him the first week of the year they were out here with the Dodgers. We sat on the bench for 20 minutes just talking a lot about the game and family and all sorts of stuff. But, man, you get on the wrong side of that dude, look out.
He's I had him in Texas for spring training, my famous Texas spring training year, and someone told me to mess with him. Like, his daughter came to the game, and I was just like, "Hey, what's going on over there?" And he looked at me, and I was like, "Okay, I'll never say that again."
Oh my gosh, it's the best part of my job. In all seriousness, like, I get to go out to Angel Stadium today, and just some people I've never met, but have known me from covering the sport for as long as I have. I've obviously known them, and it's just nice to get to know these people. But when you get a chance to sit down with a baseball lifer like Jeff Bannister, who's been through everything that he has been through, it's been a lot of fun. As far as, I have to take your word for it on there in terms of, I don't mind it when coaches get in, but they did enforce a rule this year that you got to stay in the box. And part of the reason why was because of the relaying of signs. So I suppose as long as you stay in your box and you're good enough and the pitcher's not doing a good enough job, then to me it seems like
I'm like, the more and more I think about it, like if I transport myself back into my playing days, I also be like, dude, you're a coach, just fucking stop. Let's go. So maybe I am more on Merrill Kelly's side there about like having the players do it. Although Paul Molitor used to sit in the dugout with me and teach me how to pick apart a pitcher, and I like that.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, Carlos Beltran apparently was one of the best ever at doing it. And he would just sit with guys. Now, granted, he was a player, so that's fair game. But a lot of stuff goes on in the dugout, right?
Oh, my gosh. I mean, everyone's watching. Everyone's watching. Again, I'll say this. Every team is looking at video. Most likely every team is using some sort of program to do it. And I don't like that aspect of it.
I don't know how you
can't stop
keep
it.
An eye on that stuff.
You can't stop it. I mean, all you need is anybody can have an iPad anywhere and access footage and do that. So,
okay. All fair. We're going to blow past the Gaussman stuff. Hope he has another decent start, and we'll talk about him somewhere down the road. But right now, I want to talk to you about our blast of the week. It's presented to you by Mountain Dew Baja Blast, where we're going to take a look at the 420-foot plus home runs from this past week. Well, let's guess. Maybe some of them will be in Colorado. This first one, How You Lee, 447. Okay, somebody's got a little pop.
Kansas City, too. I mean, sometimes it'll get hot there, but to go up in those bushes like he did, that's a bomb.
I believe this is not the first time we have seen Ben Rice join this segment as well. 447 at Camden. That is a tank.
I want to see where this lands. Oh, baby.
That's a swing.
Yeah, you don't see many balls land up there.
No.
Pretty.
That is a pretty shot. Joe, up there we go. Coors Field, 449. You know that he leads, but he has the furthest home run for both the Guardians and the Angels this year.
He's got some thump. That homer in Cleveland was massive. Another one here. Pretty swing. When it's right, when he's hitting the ball, it's pretty.
Yep. He's been a really nice addition for my team. Wilson Contreras, what a year he's had. His hamstrings hanging on by a thread. He's still swinging it at 452.
I think this is that's my favorite park to see a home run at, over the monster, just like onto the freeway out there. I don't know. It's so cool. Like actually leaving the yard it's awesome.
That's cool. And you
So
can't
iconic.
do one of these segments without baseball's home run hitter. Kyle Schwarber, 459 to walk it off.
We're still trying to find out where that baseball landed. Is that over the batter's eye?
Something like that.
I love
Crazy.
the pitcher's reaction. Oh, everything about this homer is awesome.
And remember, for this MLB season, keep a close eye on the 420-foot plus home runs. That'll unlock your free Baja Blast. All right, we're going to run through a bunch of these things before we get out of here. Parker Messick, just a few days after his one-year anniversary in the show, took it to the Halos as Cleveland grabbed sole possession of the third wild card in the American League. Is Cleveland's rookie left-hander the best starting pitcher we have not mentioned on this show at all this year?
We've mentioned Parker Messick on this show. I love watching him throw. I've mentioned many times this is the best starting pitching Cleveland's had in a long time. He's a stud. So have you not mentioned him? Is that your thing? You just want to keep the Guardians down until they make the playoffs?
No, I'm not going to keep them down. He has been tremendous to watch. He lives in the strike zone. He gets the ball. He's a little Burley-esque in the way that he gets the ball. He stays on the rubber, and he just goes. 20 of his 26 outings this year, he has allowed 2 runs or less. Is he good enough to be Rookie of the Year? Probably not, with a few other guys that have been swinging it in the American League Central. But only Cam Schlittler and Dylan Cease have a higher WAR among American League starting pitchers.
Yeah, his four-seam fastball value is like one of the highest in the league. Yeah. Changeup's great, sinker's great. Just as you mentioned, a guy that can live in the zone because of it.
Another guy who's had a great year is Drew Rasmussen. He is the first Ray to win 7 straight starts since Blake Snell did it during his Cy Young season in 2018. Are you impressed as he took it to the Tigers on Monday?
I love watching him pitch. Another guy who just like throwing heaters at you, heaters and changeups. Obviously they're doing different things, but another guy who doesn't walk people. Another guy in the zone, high arm angle. I don't know. There's just something when you watch him, Nick Martinez throw. It's fun. It's like almost like I don't want to call it an old school pitching method because it feels new school with all the fastballs they're throwing, but filling up the zone, inducing weak contact. It's great.
Yeah, he's remarkably consistent. And I know that sounds like it's downplaying a little bit about what he is because he's been an all-star each of the last 2 years. But he's 31 years old, and this is the first year he's going to go above 150 innings pitched. And I think that's probably why we don't talk about him as much, is that he just hasn't, and he doesn't wow you with stuff. He just is incredibly consistent.
Again, like you just don't see too many pitchers that don't walk anybody and still have a high strikeout rate and a high ground ball rate. It's like he's kind of what you dream up if you're looking for a pitcher.
I think that some people are afraid of the red beard, and that's why they don't want to talk about him. Is my
and a
guess.
really nice guy too.
Hey, he's a great guy. We caught up with him at the All-Star game. Awesome. Hey, you were in Sacramento last night, so you saw the aerial acrobatics of the third base umpire, Alex McKay. Was this even better in person?
I mean, he fooled everybody on on that. Like he didn't move at all. Then all of a sudden he wanted to jump over. I called it a karate kick jump. And then we had a great shot of Jim Wolfe on the other side of the diamond. He was at first base, just looking over there, smiling. It was good.
Well, wait a second. So is he part of the Wolfie Alan Porter crew?
Yes.
Dude, that whole crew all they do is biceps. That must be it. Look at McKay. Show it one more time, Dan. Look at him.
Get up there. Alan Porter was fantastic behind the plate last night. It was crazy.
Wow. All right. Good crew. Last one. Jonah the dog was back in Miami. Do we all remember Jonah the dog? Look at him. He was happy. Look at that collar. You are a baller when you've got JONAH hanging right around your neck. And yeah, you got fed the hot dog.
What?
Yeah. Well, hold on. You don't remember this guy from June? Remember?
No, I did not remember Jonah. No.
Dude, this thing went totally viral.
Oh, just the time of his life right there.
Not there. He was like, another dog's eating all my food. I'm not getting any of it. So now he gets back in it. Good job, Jonah. Would you ever take your dog to a game?
Sure.
Could hang?
Sure, yeah.
Sydney would not make it.
There's nothing better. I know you're not supposed to do it. And we actually do not do this, except every once in a while I'll cut a piece of steak off and throw it to my dog. Or we do eggs too. Nothing better than to give a dog human food. Like they just love you so much.
I know. Well, Sydney's gotten spoiled now. We top everything with chicken. We just shred the chicken.
I like that.
Remember, Sydney's only got 6 teeth left. So
my dog likes peaches.
That's cute.
Yeah.
No blueberries. No berries.
No.
Okay, good. All right, have a good call tonight. We are back at it again on Wednesday for our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, the uber-talented Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose. We'll see you Wednesday here on Baseball Today, presented to you by T-Mobile.